Um, I think I must recall, as I start, the first concert that I heard Ravi Shankar playing. And this was in the early 70s. And there was a concert in the Modern School Auditorium where Ravi Shankar and Ali Akbar played a Jugalbandi. And stretched out on the floor of the Modern School Auditorium with my friends, we looked up at the ceiling as they played long into the night, and we felt that the entire night sky, the stars and the moon had all come into that auditorium. It was as though we never wanted that night to end. Subsequently, when I was Director General of the Indian Council of Cultural Relations, I had the opportunity to interact with Ravi Shankar on a professional plane, and I was struck by the fact that he was devoid of ego. He was very proud of his music. He enjoyed it. He lived it. That was his life. But there was not an inch of false pride or ego in him. And if I approached him saying, Ravi ji, will you do this concert for us, or will you do this inauguration for us? Even though the fees that we at the ICCR paid were relatively modest for a person of his stature, he would always readily agree and say, look, I can waive my fees, but just pay my musicians. And I recall that when I was a struggling artist, ICCR helped me, so now I must pay back to ICCR so that other younger artists can be helped. Now, this was a sentiment which one didn't encounter so frequently amongst the great artists of the time, many of whom were also known for their hauteur and, the artistic temperament. So this was something which really did strike me about Ravi ji and made him extremely human. And then I recall the last time I heard him in concert, which was in Washington, where he played at the Washington Cathedral. It was a concert for peace, and this was at the time that Bosnia and was happening with all the human rights abuses. And there in the embassy, suddenly we found that we were the most wanted people in Washington, because everyone was approaching us for passes and invitations to the concert. And in that great cathedral with its vaulted ceiling, Ravi Shankar and his troupe came out with the Sanskrit chants for peace, Shanti, and then the sitar. And it was such an incredible moment, which, I will always remember as an outstanding piece of music for the rest of my life. I think the other aspect of him which was wonderful was that though he was a classical musician par excellence, and one grounded firmly in the Indian classical tradition, he never shied away from experimentation, from being open to other cultures, from learning and imbibing from other cultures. And that is really what a self-confident civilization does. It does not close itself and say, this is pure and this is not. This is grammatically correct. This is the idiom we must follow. It looks at art in an expansive way, seeking to absorb, to suck the essence of creativity from whichever source it comes. And whether it was in his compositions with Yehudi Menuhin, the famous LPs East Meets West, which really brought the two together in an encounter. Not such a successful experiment, if I may say so. Ravi Shankar's other recordings were much beyond this, but still it was a very bold experiment and suddenly brought India to the world, even as it brought the world to India. And today, as we see India, exposed to influences from all over the world, sometimes in danger of being swept away or swept off its feet, I think we need to remember Ravi Shankar's lesson, grounded in your own culture, but open to all cultures. And I think that will be his lasting legacy to India, one which we will celebrate for years to come. Thank you.